Media texts make meaning, be it on television, posters, or movies. Words, lights, and colors often go on unnoticed, but yet represent and evoke certain ways in which we interpret a message, even in the most plainest of texts. It is important to note before this presentation continues that the understanding of a media text takes into consideration the producers of the media text, the environmental and historical context of those that consume the text, and the text itself, such as the type, what it looks like, and conventions used. With that being said, consider the following movie, The Nana, or The Maid in English, a 2009 film portraying the life of a nana in Santiago, Chile. In the film, the audience observes a long-time household servant, Raquel, working for an upper-class family, who goes through some health challenges while also hysterically going through lengthy odds in order to maintain her place in the household as the only maid, even when the other maids are hired to assist her with the heavy workload. While Raquel is aware of the division that exists between her and the family, she is almost a part of the family as she gets along with them, except the eldest daughter. La Nana has been applauded for its documentary-style filming and intimate shots involving unsteady camera work and spy-like cuts, giving the film its own. Now consider this media text, a poster advertising thatch repairs. Here, we see a plain white piece of cardboard with black painted on writing, with only a cell phone number giving a clue to who the author or authors may be. The poster can be found around the busy intersections of Randburg, with more than one of the same text being tied around traffic lights. The simplicity of the poster makes it easy for commuters to read with minimal distraction, while almost instantly understanding its connotation. The producer of the text is looking for employment. Call this number and I'll fix your thatch roof. While refraining from assumptions and generalizations, there are a number of interpretations that a simple poster such as this can allow for. Firstly, the simple white background makes the big and bold writing stand out, while the message, like the sign itself, is simple and gets straight to the point. So what similarities do these two completely different media texts possess in terms of the social issues that they address? As mentioned, the sign is located in multiple locations throughout Randburg, South Africa, while the movie setting is based in Santiago, Chile. It can be said that the Chilean context is similar to a South African context. Therefore, a social issue similar to both issues can be that of class within context. Both located in middle to upper class settings, it could be said that both messages are targeted for upper to middle class audiences. Not diverting from the text themselves, the movie distinctly highlights on the class division that exists between the family and Raquel. She has her own living space and eats in a different space from the family. And although attempts are made at including her into the family, such as with the opening birthday scene, Raquel appears uncomfortable and the party ends quickly. The relationship between the Nana and the family she works for is very unequal and is underlined by submission on the one part and disdain by the other. Nanas wear uniform, which sets them apart from the women they serve. This is especially observed when Camila tells Raquel that she is just the maid. Much like the idea of a thatched roof, living in urban Johannesburg, one does not often boast of having a thatched roof house, unless traveling through suburban areas where thatched roof constitutes swimming pool shelters or cottages. Apart from taking context into consideration, an argument could be made of the producer of the poster. One could postulate that based on the materials used to produce the text, using the back of another poster and painting our letters with black paint with minimal effort, one could consider the author deriving from a class bracket that could not allow him or her to produce a text of better quality. However, just as little is known about Raquel's personal life, the thatch repair individual also remains a mystery. Perhaps because they occupy low places in societies, their lives do not seem to matter. Another social issue raised within both texts involves employment, which may also be linked to class. we see numerous nanas being hired to assist Raquel, as is the case with Mercedes, an immigrant from Peru. Chile is said to have among the lowest unemployment rates in the world. Thus, instances as with Mercedes are common in high-income areas such as Santiago, where women from lower-income areas and countries often take up jobs as housekeepers to escape unemployment and enter city living through working menial jobs. But even Raquel's uncompromising behavior becomes unbearable for Mercedes and Sonia, who eventually quit. Likewise, the thatched repair sign involves a call for employment. Although not as long-term as the hiring of a nana would entail, the producer of the poster hopes that his or her services will result in payment, and also a type of work that is considered menial. Such texts are of no surprise in South Africa, where unemployment rates sit at above 40%, with the majority being that of black South Africans. Commuters traveling around suburban areas such as Randburg find traffic lights laden with similar signs offering services in gardening and swimming pool cleaning. Indeed, many more unemployed South Africans are taking to the informal sectors to make a living. Another social issue addressed in the film revolves around gender and ethnicity. Raquel is sure to remind Mercedes of where she comes from. Stab in my hair highlight that Peruvian housekeepers in Santiago are often regarded as uneducated and uncivilized by superior Chilean co-workers and employers. They are also vulnerable to poor working conditions and ill treatment. Furthermore, the film highlights on women being concerned with domestic issues in the household. All the nanas hired are female, and although Pilar, Raquel's employer, has a career, it is her who often offers help with Raquel in some of the household chores. The male figures in the movie are often seen to be engaged in activities of leisure, such as golf, swimming, and sleeping. Domestic service constitutes a work domain reserved for women because men work as landscapers or drivers, but they don't perform duties within the home. If that is the case, then one could assume that thatched repair individual to be a man. A black man if one considers the informal sector statistics as mentioned earlier. However, insufficient information on the thatched repair sign does not indicate towards the gender or race of the producer. However, assumptions such as those may be made by individuals engaging with the text. The emotional scene of Lucy putting Raquel out of the bond. Lucy asking, "What have you done to me?" points to another social issue, the loss of identity. Having worked for the family for 23 years, the audience discovered that apart from calling to her mother, Raquel only exists relative to the family. At which Pharaoh in her book forgets identity, media, and democracy in Chile, which Pharaoh states, so Raquel the Nana depends on her employee family because she has become estranged from her home. If that's what the family also be identity of the producer to his or her ability to fix relationships and preserve her self-renown. This can also be likened to me, voiceover artist. You don't know who I am, and the only idea of my identity is my voice. To conclude, the socio-economic similarities that exist within the Chilean and South African context allow for various similarities regarding the social issues highlighted within the movie text. The Chilean movie, Banana, and a thatched repair sign in a suburb based in South Africa highlights on issues of class, employment, gender, ethnicity, and the loss of identity. Of course, there are many more issues to discuss, but time does not permit. Thank you for listening, and get Dr. Nikki Felkoff's book, The End of Whiteness.